I am humbled by these stories of perseverance and success that I've heard the last 2 days. Wow, it's just been incredible. But you know, what is really blowing me away is we are all talking about the very same thing. All the issues, and even many of the solutions are the same. So as one of my friends, Stephanie Hamberry-Brown, who I love, and I see my friend David Rose here, she runs Golden Seeds, a remarkable organization, says, let's stop talking about it, let's just do it. So you heard I'm part of Starvest Partners, a fund that I founded along with 3 dynamic partners in New York City, and we will invest anywhere in the United States just looking for the best company. We like the expansion stage, but we'll look earlier and we'll play earlier and look later. That expansion stage to us means 2 to 15 million top-line revenue. I unabashedly will say, if you know of deal flow, I'm happy to hear about it. But really, I love to share with the entrepreneur. We just talk. You guys do. And I am continually impressed by the amazing entrepreneurs I work with, as well as that I've met the last couple of days. So one thing, oh, clicker. So one thing I love to share is to try to inspire you about showing you the money. Do you realize that over $21 billion has been invested year to date, just this year, 2011, by venture firms, and about the same money in angel funds? Isn't that right, David, that angels equal the venture financing? Just this year we're talking about $21 billion. About half of that is in early and seed stage funding. So what I love to share, and that's been about 3,000 companies just for venture this year, what I love to share is you too can get the wallets out of our pockets, but you have to know how to do it. Again, there's that same theme about knowing, you know, what to know. You've got to be able to figure out how to do this. Otherwise, you will get skinned. There is no doubt in my mind. And certainly, the great entrepreneurs I've heard the last couple of days either had to figure that out, or somebody took them under their wing, or it was the school of hard knocks. So, you know, that idea of coaching, mentoring, sharing how to do this. What I love to say is you can learn this. You can learn this. And I am again blown away by incredible, talented people who really don't know the ropes and need to learn them. And so I love to share this notion that guess what? He didn't have a pilot's license. So now one of the big issues in our business, as you know, is the liquidity event. So guess what? We don't make money, the entrepreneur doesn't make money, and the limited partners or the investors, they don't make money either unless there's a liquidity event. And as you well know, in the public markets, that's been way off. So take a look at those facts. Only 41 venture-backed companies have gone public this year. That's down 77% from the same period a year ago. And so that's an issue because nothing's getting out, although you saw a little window opened up just recently, and it will happen again in 2012 because there is so much supply and demand. But here's the good news. M&A activity is higher than ever. Last year, there were over 400 M&A transactions of venture-backed companies. That's good news. That's the most there's ever been since records were kept. So look what's happened. During tough times, the big companies built their treasuries and shored up their capital, and they are buying rather than building, many of them, because they can get to market faster. That's great news for the entrepreneur today, and that's why you're seeing so much early-stage financing happening at seed and angel levels, because as you heard in the last session that I attended, it takes fewer dollars to invest and seed a company, and then guess what? If you're best of breed and wanted by a Google or Microsoft or Facebook, you're going to be acquired, and that's pretty exciting news. So pretty interesting stuff there if you're best of breed. So guess what happens? You got to take the shot, and let me remind you of that. And I think that's really important, because in order to get the wallets out, you got to know what you're doing. So absolutely, beckon to discuss the grand idea. Okay, we've been talking for 2 days about this enormous gap. I really believe the problem is there's a major gap between understanding what to do and making it happen. The gap between education around what to do, either to get the wallets out of our pocket or an angel's pocket, to create that company. And guess what? If you are an entrepreneur company, talk about job creation. Let's say you're looking for a job. You don't want to build a company. You want to work in a great company. I have learned people have no clue how to even get a job. I find that over and over again, even from experienced people who are out in the workforce. They don't understand how to take their own skill set and figure out how to jump into a great company, how to network. So, did anyone in this group ever say to themselves, boy, I really wanted to understand what pre-money valuation is all about, or I wonder what I am going to do down the road here. And if you have raised angel financing or venture financing, as said earlier, you had to go through the school of hard knocks, or somebody, took you under their wing. So wouldn't you have liked to have known, even in 8th grade, how to read a P&L statement or anything about financing? Where did you first learn a course if you're an entrepreneur, or certainly an investor, how to do that? All about the financial machinations, how to even understand how the venture capital world works. Wouldn't that be interesting to know earlier in grade school? What about high school? Be nice if you heard about it in college too. And that's what I'm saying back about understanding even the functional roles in a company. When people come to me, and this is my pro bono work, and say, I really would love to work in one of the great startups that now has happened in our very vibrant New York City, that now has spawned thousands of new companies in the last several years. I want to join one of these. I have to sit them down and say, well, what role do you want? Do you want to be the CFO? Do you want to be the CMO? Do you want to be the head of ops? Do you want to be the CEO? What's your functional bent? And so taking people through that, wouldn't that be great if you understood that, again, when you were in grade school, high school, or college? And I'm really quite amazed by all this. To me, that's what could fuel and change, be a game changer for job creation, the understanding around all this, instead of weaving your way like, let's face it, so many of us did. So part of this is also understanding how to get started. And certainly, this is a big issue, because, again, I see so many early-stage companies. Because we've been in business more than 10 years, and I've been investing for more than 20, lots of people seek counsel on how to get funded. And I just, openly say to them, where are your angels? So again, you have to know the ropes, how to find them, how to seek them, how to build an advisory board. I'm part of so many initiatives. I've seen companies with more than $10 million top line, $20 million. They don't even have advisory boards or board of directors. They don't even know they should have that, how much that would benefit them. So how to find your angel, how to build a company that can scale. One side note is, just because we happen to be a majority women-owned group, and that just happened to us. We never said, oh, let's get together, 3 of us. But we're called in to speak and meet so many of the women initiatives. And there's good news around women CEOs, because now the Golden Seeds, who I mentioned, Stephanie Hanbury-Brown earlier, Springboard, Astia, these are wonderful initiatives that really mentor and care for women-owned companies, trying to help them be coached and show them the way. There's many local groups, New York Angels, and David Rose is the head of that. Mava, of fabulous, one of the best regional associations associations here in the Mid-Atlantic, New Jersey Venture Group. Incubators, accelerators are abounding. There's many in our country. I think New York has, don't we have 8 now, David? I think about 8. And that is so exciting. But you have to know the tools of the trade, how to package yourself. And that's not something you're born knowing. Again, I am just fascinated with that. And notice this. So even if you're on the right track, you're going to get run over if you just sit there. I just want to share that what I heard earlier today from Desh Despande, somebody I've had the privilege of knowing before today, who inspires us as entrepreneurs to jump off the cliff. You heard Naveen Jain say, do it yourself. Don't wait for others. You know, we shouldn't be here saying, here's what we should do. Say, let's do this. And I will tell you, I did not need a pledge before this conference to say that I have a passion for helping to mentor and make it happen for people. It's just in the DNA, and I'm sure it's in many of our DNAs. You know, also, as Jeff Sandifer said, do you love the game? So we love the game. So let's change the game. Let's make a new system. We are the master teachers. That was said today. I love that. So I really do believe the whole idea is fueling awareness. That why not change it and speak in the vernacular of what young people and older people want? And that is, let's teach them in the way they want to learn. Maybe it's a mobile app. Maybe it's online gaming. Maybe it's social media tools. So I have come to learn over the last couple of days, especially by dynamic people like Cheryl Peters, who's built this Generation E, and Cindy Bush, who's doing an entrepreneur schooling and education out of the Denver area. Incredible awareness by Michael and Sheena. I've come to learn that really the baseline tools and curriculum are there. We have to create awareness. So my pledge today, continuing pledge, first of all, I am willing and able to connect anyone from this conference who wants to be connected to a funding for Angel or a coach. I'll try my best to do that. And I love Ted Williamson's idea, it was in the last session, about a Super Bowl, because wouldn't that be great if we all took these pledges and then made it happen at this one convocation, so we had a real goal for making some of these things come true. And in closing, I just want to paraphrase what E.L. Doctorow says. You know, making this happen is like driving a car at night. You can only see to the end of your headlights, but guess what? You can make the whole trip that way. Thank you.